All right, folks, it is Monday, June 16th, 2025, and I hope that you guys all had a fantastic Father's Day weekend. I know that we had a great time with the family. Some of you guys may have seen I was traveling through Seattle down to Tacoma, Washington, and then we made it back safely. Did get to see a little bit of activity out there in the streets, but it was really peaceful here in Washington State for the most part. A little bit of activity in Seattle per usual. The usual activated agents and little kids playing around. But for the most part, it was peaceful. We were able to travel through the city. No problems there. And I really just took this weekend to be grateful for my family and thankful that was back here home celebrating Father's Day. Meanwhile, I'm talking with friends that I have in the military that were getting ready to head over to Europe and potentially over to the Middle East to provide support roles. And so I just sit here and I think, what sacrifice are you willing to make for your family? How blessed and grateful I am that, I'm here. I get to work every day for my family, but my job doesn't involve me going overseas and getting involved in this global conflict that we're watching play out. What I'm referring to is this right here. A major military airlift appears to be now underway as an unprecedented number of U.S. Air Force KC-135s and KC-46 aerial refueling tankers have departed from air bases across the United States and appear to be preparing to cross the Atlantic towards Europe. Now, I had spoken with my military buddies, and they had actually tipped me off to this last week. But because this is a developing situation, I didn't want to jump in front of the news just to, try to be the first one out to say that this was happening. But yeah, they had confirmed for me last week that they were getting ready to go over there and provide support roles in the Middle East. So at this current hour, and this morning, we've been watching the markets rally in anticipation of a ceasefire or some sort of peace deal being reached. But at the same time, we also have Iranian military saying that they're gearing up for the largest attack on Israel in its history. So let's cover this real quick, but we're going to get into crypto and the inflows that we've been seeing coming in. USS Nimitz aircraft carrier strike group is on its way to the Middle East from the South China Sea. Iran has told the United States they will return to the negotiating table if the United States doesn't join the attack. And we're seeing back channel communications here. Iran asked Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and Oman to ask President Trump to press Israel to agree to an immediate ceasefire. So this is why the markets are rallying here today. Oil dropped back down. I haven't taken a look at the oil chart. Last I saw here just a couple hours ago, it had dropped down below $70 per barrel. So things calming back down here in anticipation of Iran potentially agreeing to a ceasefire with Israel, but we're getting conflicting reports. And that's why I'm going to caution everybody, don't long the farm yet, because we might not be into the clear yet. Now, we're praying for peace, of course, but at the same time, they're getting this back channel, hey, we want a peace deal. We're also getting Iran's Revolutionary Guard calling on Tel Aviv residents to evacuate as soon as possible. Iran is ready to deliver a major blow to Israel, semi-official MIR. Iranian state media saying that Iran is preparing for the largest and most intense missile attack in history on Israeli soil. So I caution you guys here. This is why I got out of my leverage last week as soon as this started to kind of pick up and we heard that things might be popping off. And really the signal was when we started to pull out of our embassies, we started to pull troops out of the region. That was my signal. And I said to my Discord group, hey guys, I'm taking profit on my XRP long position that I had on Coinbase. I took my profit, I started praying, and I haven't traded this thing this whole weekend. Like I'm even thinking about like right now, I know we're excited about the inflows in the market back up, but for me, I'm praying for peace, but I'm also thinking, man, all it's going to take here is some more events popping off and this market could be coming back down. So it's going to be very volatile this week with the ongoing current events. And then we also have the Federal Reserve meeting this week, FOMC meeting tomorrow and Wednesday with an interest rate decision. So be very, very cautious this week. I'm not taking on any leverage positions. I'm not trading this thing at all. I've just kind of been hoping that this thing, we come to an agreement of peace and we end this war before it continues. But stay safe and be careful out here taking on any leverage right now and getting ahead of ourselves before any real ceasefire and peace deal is reached. Now, Picking up spot, well, this is how the game is played. While most folks are scared of crypto, I saw a lot of people sold all of their positions. Like people saying, I dumped my whole bag at 209, 2010, or 210, right? I'm worried about those people not getting back into XRP, not getting back into their positions. And basically you sold off to Blackrock and the smart investors that have been continuing to acquire these positions. BlackRock bought $1.1 billion of Bitcoin this past week. They bought Bitcoin every single day. So like I said, I got out of my leverage position, my XRP long, took profit, started praying, but I'm holding all my spot positions. Even my meme coins on the XRP ledger, for crying out loud. I'm still holding my Joey ticker, getting ready for it to hop to another all-time high. So I'm not selling any of my spot, and I did buy a little bit of DAG. I did buy a couple other positions last week. I forgot what they were. But I did add to my bags a little bit last week, not XRP. But I'm curious to know, were you guys buying that dip last week when we did go down to about $2.08 briefly for XRP? And some of those other cryptos got down to nice, attractive levels for purchasing as well. So did you guys buy with BlackRock last week? Or did you panic sell and now you're kicking yourself as we watch XRP soaring up to $2.30? Now, Digital Asset Investor says the phones are ringing off the hook at crypto companies looking to IPO or be acquired. Lock in. This is the year of crypto, but I think it goes into 2026 as well. Absolutely. This is going to be a V-shaped recovery. Really, we saw that, pull back last week. We didn't even go below the levels that the Elon Musk, Donald Trump feud took us to. So we're going to have to see an escalation in this war take place for our markets to really get beat up, right? The oil did spike to $77. It's already back down below 70. The US dollar Japanese yen pairing didn't really get shocked as well either. So this wasn't the big one yet. And on the other side of this is going to be a bull run like we haven't seen yet for the utility in the cryptocurrency space. We've seen speculation and hype being pumped, the metaverse coins, the NFTs, the AI tokens that we've seen over the past year, all that hype, all that speculation. Now we're moving into an era of utility. And you're seeing these companies going public. Just today, it was announced that Justin Sun wants to take Tron public here in the United States. That worries me. When you got guys like Justin Sun going public in the US, that worries me that that's a top signal. I'm not too fond of Justin Sun and what they've been up to over there. But the point being is that the rush to go public here in the United States is on. Circle did it, way overvalued in my opinion right now at $159 per share. I don't know what that valuation is. I think it's well over 30 billion. And that's definitely overvalued for Circle. But I love to see it. And for all the people that invested in pre-IPO of Circle, I'm praying for you guys that Circle can hold this valuation past the 180-day lockup period so that all of you guys that took advantage of the pre-IPO on Circle can hit the exits after that lockup period expires and will still hopefully be up at these prices and you guys will make out really well. Now into XRP. Very simple. I'm going to talk about the inflows here in a second. The Franklin Templeton Spot XRP ETF is due for a decision tomorrow, most likely going to be delayed, but we are right around the corner from seeing these go public, and we do have a Canadian Toronto Stock Exchange listing of an XRP ETF, XRPP Purpose, on June 18th. Okay, so this is from Purpose Investment. They're going live with an XRP ETF Wednesday, June 18th. Okay, so we do have ETFs for XRP going live this week on the Toronto Stock Exchange, and it's only a matter of time before we go live on the NASDAQ and here in the United States. Now, speaking of public companies in the United States, we have the next one. Imagine Network is making a bold move by expanding its project reserves with a $125 million XRP infusion, fueling its vision for smarter, scalable Web3 social innovation. Now, we are approaching about over $1 billion of corporate treasury reserves that these companies have committed. We do need to caution, though, because we've seen this in the past where people like to use the XRP community to get attention and liquidity as well too. Now, this company, never heard of them. Here, how do they get on the radar though? They announce a $125 million XRP corporate reserve. Now, will they follow through with that? How much are they going to invest in the XRP ecosystem? That is yet to be seen. I worry that some of these companies are looking to get these headlines. They paid to put out this press release in Business Insider. So it's a little bit of promo, it's a little bit of hype. And similar to companies that said, oh, we're going to do a metaverse so that they could pump their stock. Oh, we're going to launch an NFT project so that they could pump their stock. Oh, how many companies did we hear say that they're going to leverage AI to pump their stock? Now, what are these companies going to be doing? They're going to be announcing that they have XRP corporate reserves. Now, whether or not they follow through or not, I want you guys to take notice of the fact of what XRP does. The reason why they're announcing this is because it's the power of XRP. It's the power of the XRP community. It's the attention that XRP has in control of this bull run right now. Now, speaking of this bull run, yes, we are in one. Take a look at it. XRP popping up to 231 here this morning. In fact, I'm pulling 232.5 all the way up to $2.32 this morning for XRP. 230 right now as I record this update. Bitcoin up to 107.8, pushing towards 108,000 for Bitcoin. Absolutely massive. Love to see it. Now I'm going to take a quick look here at oil while we got our charts pulled up. And yeah, we're back down to 69. We already went down to basically $68, $67 per barrel. Okay. Now gold at 3,400. We'll watch that. And silver consolidating right above $36 per ounce. So this is why I've been saying that we're perfectly positioned for the events taking place. On the defensive side of our portfolio, our precious metals are holding up really well. But then as soon as we get to the other side of this V-shaped recovery, the bounce back, the inflows you're already seeing coming into XRP are massive. Let me draw your attention to this. Coinglass.com is where I track these inflows at. You guys can check this out for yourself. But what we see right here over the past 4 hours is nothing but steady inflows, right? Almost 7 million of inflows there, 8 million, almost another 8 million, 14 million of inflows there, and 4.45 million of inflows. So last night is when the inflows started to really pick up. And if you just look over the past 24 hours, let's track this right here. Over the past 24 hours, you're seeing 22 million of inflows on Binance, 14 million on Kraken, 4.5 on Bitstamp, another 4 on OKX and Coinbase as well. If I pull up the 24-hour, you can see it right here. We're looking at 41 million of inflows for yesterday. And so we're still tracking the inflows of today, June 16th, Monday. But the inflows for June 15th, yesterday, Sunday, Father's Day, already at $41 million for XRP. And that was enough to push XRP all the way up above 220. That rally is continuing today, up above 230. But like I said earlier, I want to caution everybody because we're not into the clear yet. Absolutely praying for peace and cautiously optimistic that we will reach a ceasefire. But I'm worried that we're actually gearing up for the next level of escalation in this conflict. The big one to watch is the Strait of Hormuz. If Iran is able to shut that down, that's going to be the one that spikes oil and really sends this situation into another level of escalation. Right now, like I said, I'm not in any leverage positions. I'm staying liquid, but holding all of my spot positions. I didn't sell anything. I didn't move anything over the weekend. I cleared my books, enjoyed the weekend with the family, praying for peace, grateful that I get to, be living here, such a great opportunity to, have a great family, enjoy the work that I do. But I'm praying for our troops overseas. I'm praying for all of our service members that were away from their families over this weekend. This is not over yet, but this is a glimpse at what comes on the other side. So yeah, it might get worse. We're praying it doesn't. But just remember what happens on the other side of this. It only takes 40 million in inflows to send that chart ripping to the upside. And 40 million in inflows is nothing compared to the billions upon tens of billions of inflows that we will see once those spot ETFs go live. Wednesday on the Toronto Stock Exchange, we're going live with the XRPP ticker. And then we'll see what we get on the other ETFs due this month in the United States. But we are looking at XRP spot ETFs going live 100% by Q3 of this year, over the next couple months. The inevitable end of the SEC versus Ripple lawsuit also right around the corner as well. These are inevitabilities. So invest in the inevitable, stay liquid, keep your head on a swivel out here. Let's continue to pray for peace, and I will see you guys in the next one. God bless you all. Thank you so much. I am your host, Zach Rector. I really appreciate all of the love and support. If you want to support the channel, just remember that you can start by smashing that thumbs up for me, sharing this content far and wide, and everything else is at my website.